Radio check, radio check. Sound check. Check, check. Okay, looks like we're on. Just checking liveries one more time. It looks a bit better. Excellent, okay. Good to see. Great. Okay. Right, welcome everybody. Apologies for the slightly stuttered start. It's just a fact that I have to make sure everything is a-okay with the stream when I stream in this method, which is through my phone on direct from the PlayStation. So just stepping back in time a little bit here for me. Qualifying is just being prepared from everybody, and thank you to the GTD drivers for waiting for the previous race to finish. We had a problem with the stream earlier on, but all is good now. The championship, as things stand here, is we have Dirksey on top, who's won 2 of our races so far. He's had 2 strong results and 2 not so strong results, but he's got 64 points ahead of Camzilla, who is one of our other winners so far in the GTD. In the GTD Championship. We've got Jim, who had a string of consecutive 13-point finishes for the first 3 rounds and then dropped 5 points for Alsace, but he gets to drop his lowest score, so maybe that's the situation he'll find himself in later on. And we have Morris in 4th, K Morris on 46, just 1 point away from Jim with those drop scores taken into account. Binkit is our other winner, who won round 2 at the Red Bull Ring. So we're at a different ring today, but it's very different prospect for everybody. Now, I still don't understand why we're doing practice like this. I think it's with the overage, perhaps, but it means that I can't see everything that I want to see, and if drivers quit out, I lose the best times. So I don't know if anything can be communicated to the drivers. Unfortunately, it looks like Mercury's livery in the Chevy has not made it through. I think this one is a standard livery. No, it's not. This is today's livery. It's Team OG and Slug are right there, but it's a very appropriate Chevy colour scheme, the bright yellow. They're coming out of the pits. So Thrash is in 6th place, dropping 1 position overall. From round 3 to round 4. Mercury's in 7th with Siam and Kuroskai in 8th and 9th. We have Larry in P10, and rumour has it that Larry is going to destroy everybody today. That is certainly the information that I have received from an unnamed source, who happens to be splitting his time across different sim platforms, but he's done enough research to assure me Larry is going to wipe the floor with everybody today in the field. Here he is for Team Michelin Speedstars. We have Brum in 11th place, the rookie, but unfortunately I believe has had a Fanatec wheel problem. I saw one of the sockets on his Fanatec has broken free, so he is unable to drive properly at the moment until he gets that rectified. So any time from now until about 8 months' time, he'll have that fixed by Fanatec. Saito is in 12th with Aussie in 13th, and Slug is at the back of the standings so far. 2 no scores, unfortunately for him, but 5 points total. In the team standings, we have Distinguished leading the way before today's GTD Pro race that just took place. They had 139 points overall and leading by 14 from cross-border competition, who are racing the Audis in this particular round, and we just see them there. Cross-border competition celebrating coffee and donut shops across the border between Canada and the USA. Drive-through racing are driving the Lamborghinis in this round. I think it's the Huracan in this division, and they are here in third place overall, with just 3 ahead of Team OG, who are 4th in the Chevys. We've got Michelin Speedstars, the Honda drivers, on 80 points in 5th, with the rookie racers in 6th in the Renault, and Team Mountain Dew in the here in the dragon fruit flavour, with the great livery that's been designed here today in the Mazda, have 60 points, fewer than half the points of the outright leaders of the championship then so far. KFC, we saw KFC last season in Team Polio Loco, but they have returned as a sponsor this time for the Team Drive-Thru Racing. These two drivers, Siam and Aussie, need to get some distance between each other to make sure they get their hot laps in, and aren't encumbered by each other. Thrash is out there in 9th, and then Binkit in a cybernetic warfare rebellion theme for the Renault Megane Trophy Team Rookie Rebel Racers. Really focusing on the rebel and rebellion part of their name. Bacardi are sponsoring the VW today, which is great to see as well. Mercury's out there leading the pack, as we're on this outlap, of course, here at the Nürburgring. It's a long outlap. I did say that they probably could have started without me, but greetings to anyone who's found their way to the stream. My apologies, it's not the scheduled stream, but apparently Webbo household and comms booth is not allowed decent internet coverage from their ISP today. It's failed me. They are usually very good, I have to say. We are very fortunate with the performance of the internet. So today we are going through the PlayStation that does have a Wi-Fi adapter, unlike my PC, and we're running through courtesy of my phone service provider's 4G connection here in the hills in the north of England. Right, Mercury then still running through this run. I don't know whether to look at the liveries in a great deal of detail while we wait for this outlap to complete, but Jim is in the Canadian Tim Hortons coffee shop and Dunkin' Donuts. I did say earlier on in the season that I saw my first Tim Hortons here in England in Cumbria, weirdly, a couple of weeks ago on a road trip. I've never seen one before. I didn't actually stop for any coffee, but I've been told that they're not actually very nice coffee that they make at Tim Hortons. From a Canadian, this is not a jealous American who's told me this. This is just fabulous dragon fruit livery there for the Mountain Dew team. That might be my pick today so far. There is Siam in 6th. I'd love to hear, if Gus is watching, I'd love to hear from him. Hi to Maze and everybody else watching. Do make yourselves heard, especially on this outlap. Keep me entertained on the outlap. We've got someone running very, very late in qualifying. Tell me they haven't only just joined, because we're going to be waiting an absolute age for Slug, the appropriately named Slug. He may have put new tyres on even, but he was near the front, and I wonder if he damaged the car or tried the softs and thought that there's no way they're going to make it. But of course that's going to foreshorten his quote-unquote flying lap here in the Perrier livery. So he wasn't slow out of the pits initially, but I don't know if race control will tolerate his tardiness here on his fast lap. Here is Mercury. He's still obviously way out in front of everybody. He'll have a nice clear track. I think the main objective here in the GT4 outlaps is just going to be, don't damage the car, don't do anything stupid, and make sure you've got a gap. You don't want to eat too much out of the medium tyres. We had 7 total laps, and we almost ran out of race time to fulfill those 7 laps in the GTD Pro. I'm not going to give any spoilers because I know a lot of people are practicing for the GTD race. that watch this stream and then they go back and watch the GTD Pro. But we may well have some GTD Pro drivers in here. Zen Slug didn't realise qualifying was going on. Oh dear. Okay. Well, not great news then from him. Here's Jim. I thought that this would be a more sort of white and bright red livery for Tim Hortons, but maybe my references are a little outdated, a bit like McDonald's, who decided everything needed to be dark green and brown all of a sudden. Dirksey in fourth on track at least, and the Dragon Fruit Mountain Dew in the Mazda is out in fifth place. Hi to Alexandra, one of the members of the channel. If you do want to support myself as a creator, streamer, please consider joining the channel. Let me know what kind of perks you might be interested in if you don't see what you're looking for, and I will do what I can. But I received support from Alexandra. There's also a super chat. This is the new hype button you can press to support what we're doing here today, and make sure that YouTube can actually one day capture my live streams and start broadcasting them to other people and presenting them, because I do tend to wonder quite why I still haven't got there. It's Siam in sixth, it's Thrasher in seventh on track anyway, with the blinkers on, just getting himself ready. Still the Jack in the Box livery for them, as Mercury is just finishing the Dottinger Hoche and heading down towards the main section of the Grand Prix circuit. And he will start his racing lap, and we will switch over to driver POV and see how this is going. Someone's sawn the top off the steering wheel here in this GT3 racer for Mercury. Nice big gap behind for him, as I think Larry's just the one coming through. As I say, it should be a really good watch for Alexandra and family. Got some fun liveries to check out, but also Larry is a hot tip to win today. We've got Mercury then going down on this Grand Prix circuit as we go into tight left-hander, little downshift, and then almost a practice run through Ford curve before a very similar profile but slightly larger radius Dunlop curve as we head down. Here it is. Izzy is here. I'm surprised to see Izzy, but hi to everybody. I'm surprised to see Izzy wants to see some more of the Nordschleife right now, but we will hope to hear some more from him throughout the rest of the broadcast. Mercury heads on into left-hander and then through into what used to be called Bit Curver, and the current name escapes me right now. It's gone. The corners are just basically up for sale here at the Nürburgring in the Grand Prix circuit, and they change with the weather. The Vidal chicane remains the Vidal chicane though, as we head uphill towards it. Very late braking. It's a much more open chicane than the Grand Prix layout, and that is unfortunately how to stuff up your lap right from the start here for Mercury. It's one-shot qualifying, don't forget, and we'll see how his car is performing. 146.8 over the top of the hill. We're expecting big things from iRacer, full-time iRacer Larry. 45.9 from Larry, 45.9 from Larry. As the Tim Hortons fully caffeinated Audi TT Cup car comes through of Jim. Let's see how Jim manages this one. Good to see the Michelin Speedstars have updated their livery as well. I'll have a look into that, but they've been fairly uniform throughout the course of the first part of the season. 47.4 from Jim, but it doesn't tell the full tale. Drivers on the way in that Grand Prix section. 46.1 for Dirksey. And Kuros Kai then will cross over. This is a bit of a slower one, 48.2 for Kuros Kai at this stage. Siam comes on out. Was too late to catch Siam's lap. Here is Camzilla. Big gap for Camzilla in front as well. I think he'd be quite pleased with that. And then I don't think I'll be sitting waiting for for Slug, who has actually quit out of practice here, out of the qualifying session. 46.5 for Camzilla. That's pretty quick from him. So I wonder if Cam is going to give Larry a run for his money. A 48.2 from Aussie then. Sorry, excuse me. No, Slug is still with us. That is Saito 48.0. Just coming out of that first portion of the lap then. 45.2 from Binkit is very impressive, and I think the fastest we have seen so far. K. Morris has picked up a half-second penalty already, and he has a 45.9. I think anything in the 45s is more than competitive, but no. Mercury then is the next, continues then to lead the field. Larry, we'll ride with Larry because we need to see how the job is done by a professional, of course. I think has been putting in an uncharacteristic amount of GT7 practice this last week. Normally you'll find him on iRacing and on ACC as he gets out on the dirt. Very unusual to see Larry in the second tier of GT racing here at Deviant. It's been a stalwart of the top tier of racing, I think, ever since I joined the league as a commentator. I'm sure the rumours that he's here just trophy hunting are absolutely ill-founded. Oh dear, Larry, I'm sorry about capturing that on stream for you, as we have now hit the wall, and that will mean that it will not be a front row start, I don't imagine, for Larry, so he's going to have to do this from the back. Unfortunately for him, that's a big problem then on his outlap. Let's see how Jim is doing. The Audi kind of complaining a little bit there with the high revs as he downshifted perhaps. Izzy, Leslie and Leia are cheering on Larry and Siam in for their team. This is the Michelin Speedstars. Izzy, I'd love you to explain your livery for me today in the Ford GT. What was it? Why were you in a cop car? Is that because it's something scary for Halloween? I wonder. Dirksy and Jim running third and fourth on track. That's a 5:12.9 for Dirksy. Dirksy looking good then, compared to Kuros Kai, who is now, what? Wow, 6 seconds slower than Dirksy through that sector. Through to that sector, I should say. This is Siam. On track. I wonder if Siam's had a problem as well. Up to this point. Thrasher with the bright green wing mirrors that are regulation here in GTD. I would love to see an enlarged field with all of the racers doing a mixed class race in perhaps post-update, where we're expecting a big update this season from GT7. We're hoping that we might get larger fields, but who knows. Aussie's in 9th. Saito, I remember last Christmas we did a mixed class race. I took part in it, I believe. And performed poorly as always. K. Morris in 12th, and Slug has at least started his flying lap, but whether he'll be allowed to finish it at this point, I'm really not sure. Mercury, stay with him then. A nice clear run. Got to get that speed shaved off into the bank corner of Stefan Baloff S. And we're approaching now. We were just in Flansgarten. Here is the Schwalbenschwanz section coming up. I did like the previous version of Gran Turismo that actually put the corner names up on screen as you went through. He went through the Nordschleife. This is the mini carousel. Nice little off-throttle run through there. Riding the banking. Just waiting for the chance to put the power down, and then it's out of the all-important corner. Slightly less than optimal there for Mercury, but he's flat out at this stage. No slipstreaming, of course, happening, but the slipstream is very powerful on the Gautier-Thornton, the straight under the Audi sign. That Audi sign we just saw will be where the safety car will pick up the drivers, either lap 3 or lap 4. Vic saying Morris has to fight both the Nordschleife and the Hurricane. I hope all is well for Morris in Jamaica. It has been a horrible hurricane season with Hurricane Melissa. Hopefully he and his family are a-okay. But he's able to race nonetheless, so it's obviously things are okay enough. Here comes Mercury then to the line to finish out his qualifying lap, and that's a 9:15.9 in the GT4 car. I don't know how excited to be about that one as Larry comes through. As I say, Larry rumoured to be faster than everybody today, and despite that spin was faster than Mercury by 1.5 seconds, a 9:14 for the new pole position provisionally. This is Jim just finishing out the Gautier-Thornton and going through Tiergarten now. He's got his teammate Dirksey right behind him. Might even get a distant tow here, Dirksey. That might help Dirksey to at least leapfrog Jim. We'll see. Jim about to cross the line now. He's third on the road at this stage. He stays third. Dirksey did get him in the end. Siam takes pole provisionally there up into P1 as we close out. We've got Thrasher about to finish here his lap. Thrasher's usually quick over a single flying lap, and he goes 5th with Kuros Kai staying 7th in the end. Here comes Camzilla. And Cam takes pole by 1.1 seconds, a 9:08.058 from Camzilla. I knew he was quick at the start of the race, but that is crazy from him. Fantastic run from Cam. Aussie this is Saito is going to finish the lap just ahead of Aussie, but he's different in the order for some strange reason. Here comes Saito. Had a little practice go in our safety car earlier on, and he will cross the line and go 9th. Kuros Kai has gone through. This is Aussie then, and he stays 12th. Slower lap there from his perspective, and whether we see Slug finish his lap or not in the Perrier sponsored Team OG Chevrolet, I'm not sure, because he's quite a long way away and everyone is waiting for him to finish. As we heard earlier on, not expecting to be in qualifying, was thinking that because it's called a practice session, it was a practice session. My suspicion is that we have to run the practice session like this because otherwise we can't qualify everybody inside of 10 minutes. But I'm not sure that our times are actually to be believed now that I look at them. 9:08, 9:09.2. That tracks. But sometimes the drivers will get ahead of each other and the order will swap, and I won't actually see where anybody qualifies when it comes to the end of it. Slug's still going. He didn't in the end pit, so he's still on that set of tyres, and it looks like the mediums on the Chevy, on the fronts at least, are going to struggle to do 3 safe laps on the medium tyres. I think it's going to be a 2-lap maximum on the mediums, especially at full pace, full fuel. And it's taking more than half a tank to do those 2 laps as well. Basically 2/3 of a lap of fuel. We'll see if Slug is allowed to continue here. Everyone will be furiously looking at their track maps and wondering how much longer they have to wait. The Stars and Stripes fly on the roof of the Chevy. On board with Slug there. That will be the safety car start line, and then just as they get back onto the Nordschleife, the safety car will duck out again. It's lap 3 or lap 4 for the safety car, as I mentioned before, and a randomizing wheel will decide which of those two it will be. So here comes Slug, slowly getting through this qualifying lap. Just making sure that I am fully late for my meal time later on. So I'll probably just have to just notify the family that I'm going to run late. So that puts Slug in 12th. So it was worth it after all to finish his lap, because he didn't start at the back behind Ozzy, who put in his lap and is messing around now. Come on, guys. Come on. We don't want to see this. This is a race after all. So let's just not watch them do that. So looks like we've got dark clouds overhead. We'll have a quick look at the weather tracking as we run through. And no sign of any weather on the radar, but it only tells you what has happened. It doesn't actually give you a forecast, which is one of the stranger things I've seen in sim racing, I have to say. I mean, it's good to know what has happened, but the weather forecast is all you really care about. Weather should be on random. It is. So we didn't have any rain in the GTD Pro race, but who's to say what might happen in the main race here for the GTDs. Just a reminder that Dirksy leads the championship ahead of Camzilla and Jim, who is written as JDA 407. So just in case you don't know who I'm talking about, but it's Jim. It's a bit easier to read than JDA. Chaotica tells me that the safety car will be on lap 4. So into the second half of the race. So that's good to get that information for us. I'd love to hear who you think is going to be able to secure this one. Camzilla taking the pole in the VW Sirocco GT4 car ahead of I want to say Siam, I think it was, in P2. Sometimes though, if the drivers kind of overtake each other on the practice setup, then the practice will always read slightly off for me. 3 minutes to before the start. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm just going to take a few quiet moments just to rest the voice between sessions. Start in 3 minutes time, so just time enough to get a drink and a snack going, and I'll see you on the other side. Quick hi to Lloyd there, and another change of name from Floyd. Nice to see you. It's been a long time, but thank you. Yes, hit the like, indeed. I appreciate that. Here we go. It's time to get underway then for the second of our two Deviant Racing League races. Some little while later than scheduled. Looks like dry conditions at the moment anyway, but some overcast clouds. Camzilla ahead of Siam with K Morris in that third place with Binkit alongside him on the second row. The Chevy of Mercury in sixth with Larry in between himself and Binkit. It's 5 lights on for round 5 of the championship, and it's drop the clutch and go, 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 and a good start straight away from third place on the grid. It looks like Siam getting up nicely there, and it's Binkit who's straight into the lead of the race ahead of Siam and Camzilla. Mercury's got the inside line for this double tight left-hander with the Bacardi Volkswagen just struggling for room on the outside of the run. He drops down. Camzilla, our pole sitter, down to fourth. Larry in fifth place, fighting off the second of the distinguished VWs of K Morris now. Larry in fifth place, Camzilla in fourth, with Mercury up from the third row of the grid up to third position, and it's Binkit in the glittery mirrorball finish car in the lead of this race in the Renault Megane Trophy. Siam converting his second place into second place. He's got a Larry meme sticker on the back of the car. We'll look at that a little bit closer on lap 4 during the safety car. Binkit ahead then by 1/4 of a second from Siam at the start of the race. We've got Larry behind Camzilla and Mercury. Then it's K Morris, Dirksey and Thrasher, with Saito just ahead of Ozzy. I think the decision for the strategy is going to be very straightforward here. It's going to be hard tyres for the grid to make sure they get that fourth lap if the fuel will last for them. And Slug doing Slug things right at the back there at the moment in that 13th place. Chaotica in the safety car is keeping up with the GT4s now quite comfortably. But Binkit leads us as we head on through the Grand Prix layout and turn left then instead of right onto the Nordschleife, and Binkit leads Siam by just 0.4 of a second as the drivers pile on through. Looks like Larry's had a good run there back into fourth place, recovered a position on Camzilla. Quick check on the start procedure. How was everybody looking on the way? Slug going, weaving his way right through everybody, getting a little the love of it, and behind him we've got several cars. I didn't see exactly what happened to Slug in the end, but he was running 9th at this point in the start, and our replay buffer is going to run out now before anything happens to Slug, I think. It's quite a long replay buffer actually. We might catch it, but I'm sure it will stop any second and we'll lose exactly what happened. But he was very late on the brakes, found a gap to dive into. Maybe this replay buffer is just completely fouled up. Sometimes it does this and we get really lucky, but it was just wide. Okay, it was wide through Dunlop. Understood. Okay, well that kind of explains what happened to him. But an odd one there at the start, and stranger still to have that happen with our replay that seemed to be going on forever. Mercury's in third. Larry is right on his gearbox and he's looking for that chance down the inside. Mercury on the hard tyres. Larry, though, has gone for the mediums, and they didn't help him in the Honda NSX away from the line. But right now, he's doing A-OK. Great clean start, says Floyd. Yeah, it was pretty clean, although that second viewing from Slug, he was very fortunate not to wipe some people out with that closing speed, but got away with it. So we will take that, absolutely. Some Japanese writing on Larry's car there. I'm not sure what it is on the sun visor, but Larry goes by. Mercury having a bit of a problem on the way through the preceding corner. Let's just check out what happened to Merc here. A lot of fighting going on at the front, but it's that corner that trips everybody up. That right-hander, that really slow section at the it's Callenhard, I think it is, right up there, or is it Adenauer? I think it might be Adenauer, but it just messes people up. Something chronic, that one. And up at the front, Siam is eating the road away from Binkit's lead. It's 0.7 of a second now only, and the drivers, it's great to drive the Nürburgring Nordschleife with a car in front of you, but it's quite a lonely and difficult job to do. when you're the only one you can see him just going a little bit wide there, unfortunately. Just miscalculating, and the distinguished VWs are queuing up to pass Mercury behind. Here comes Kay Morris to follow his teammate Cam Ziller, who's certainly been the pace of the field in qualifying anyway. That VW performing fantastically for a small starter car, as the Scirocco kind of is, modelled on anyway, as Kay Morris. It's quite a sight to see a VW Scirocco out-drag a Chevy here with the setup and the tyre differential, I think. Kay Morris, no, he's on the hard tyres too. I think only Larry has gone for the medium tyres, so that means one of two things. Either he's chosen the wrong strategy, or he is the only genius in the field. You can pick your favourite answer from those. But here comes Cam Ziller, and it's really interesting to see Cam versus Larry here. Two drivers know each other very well and enjoy the chase, and certainly, I'm sure, absolutely love racing each other hard. The sky is looking more overcast, I think, than it ever did in the GTD Pro race earlier on, so I wonder if we are going to get some of that incredibly atmospheric and deeply perilous rain here at the Nordschleife. Gap opening up then behind P4, but the Michelin Speedstars in second and third positions at this stage. As I mentioned earlier, strong rumour I'd heard was that Larry was going to win this race easily from everybody else, and there is a famous meme of Larry. I hope this helps with his 100% accurate cartoon picture with his epic beard on the back of the car there. The 77 Larry then running in P3, but Binkett at the moment, the pace of the field, he's on the medium tyres in the McGee Trophy, so he's opening out his lead. He will probably take, well, I'm certain will take the pit stop at the before the safety car on lap 4, possibly even end of lap 2. He'll have to take the pit stop, and he'll be running full tank of fuel here. See him on the mediums with Larry, both doing the same. So the front three here at the moment, really convinced that the medium tyre is the way to run. Everybody else that I've seen so far are on the hard tyres. That includes then Cam Ziller, who, with the pole sitting pace, is currently on the hard tyres. They'll be just about usable by now. This section of the track is nice and bright sunshine. Behind Cam Ziller, it's got his teammate Kay Morris, a bit of a gap, 2 seconds total back to Kay Morris. Mercury slipping from what was near the lead of the race down to 6th position now, and Dirksey in 7th in the Audi TT, which is not one of the most favoured cars to be driving, I do believe. We've got Thrasher in the GT4 Lamborghini Huracan and the easy to spot livery. Nice bright colours for Jack in the Box for Team Drive Through. And we've got Jim in the Tim Hortons. Now, Jim often is at the back at the start of races, just takes a little bit longer to warm up, but thanks to the safety car and some great consistent running, will usually be somewhere near the front by the time it comes to the end of the race. It's very, very common occurrence for him. This is Kuros Kai in the Dragon Fruit Mountain Dew in the Mazda, looking good in P10, and Aussie in the KFC drive-through racing livery here. Quite why they've got a French flag behind the it says Papa Speed on it. I'm unsure what's happening there with the KFC logo. Arsaito having a slowdown penalty then at the end of his lap 1, and the drivers behind will now get by. I think he might even be overtaken by Chaotica, who has done a great job in keeping up with everybody. Chaotica spills it trying to avoid running past Saito. I think we might need to see that again. I'm sorry, Chaotica, but I think we might need to see this again. I think he knew that the car in front had ghosted, and then he suddenly panicked that the car would unghost and he has then spun the car, damaged our safety car, ironically enough, and that's not the best situation then from Chaotica. But that Mercedes safety car almost equal in pace to our GT4 cars here in the GTD series, the lower tier. Last season 4.2, we did have we had double GT3 races, but we've changed it back to having the GT4s. Lower tier drivers seeming to prefer these. It definitely feels like a smaller than regulation number sticker there on the side of the car. I'm sure they've shrunk that down to fit with the PCB, printed circuit board, microchip style, hacking rebellion style livery that the Renault Megane is wearing today. Siam in second, Larry in third. No change there, with the all three medium runners now nearly 5 seconds or more ahead of the first of the hard runners, which is now Mercury. What on earth has happened to Camzilla? Camzilla is way down in 10th place with his teammate. I think they might have taken a pit stop. They have taken a pit stop. So they've started out on the hard tyres. Looked like they were running really well. Done a single lap on the hards and are now running 10th and 11th. So obviously a scheduled plan here from everybody. Kai is Floyd's daughter's name. Very nice, Kyla. Fantastic, okay. And Chaotica with that... I thought user had actually typed Leimotica there, but that might have been appropriate. But Chaotica is now in the pit lane, waiting for his for the fourth racing lap and his turn to get going. Hopefully, his second spell on track will be less embarrassing than his first one as Binkit. So, team order from Vic to the distinguished gentleman. To pit after one lap, it seems. Okay, so Vic, the puppet master, pulling the strings and hoping that his strat will pay off here. Single lap on the hards is an interesting one. Not seen that before at the start of a race, certainly from drivers who are so quick. But of course, it gets the hard tyre out of the way. They will then presumably try and do a 3-lap medium stint, followed by a 2-lap medium stint, potentially, but I've got a big question mark over whether this is going to work. Binkit is being caught by Siam here. Larry came into the race full of confidence, but Siam has the performance at the moment across the two Michelin Speed Starter races. They've obviously changed their livery, I think, for our Halloween special. And Larry just losing out then by 3.9 to the leader, 2.9 to Siam, just in front and between himself and that race lead. But a potential podium on the cards here, but a lot of water has to flow under the bridge before we get to that point. We can start talking winners. Here is Mercury then hopping over that curb once again, and behind him we've got Dirksey and Thrasher. This is the primary colours portion of the race. I actually picked a Dunkin' Donuts livery for one of my liveries. It's something of an iconic colour scheme. There. I'm assuming Dunkin' Donuts have got some NASCAR sponsorship in their history. You'd have to have a colour scheme like that on a NASCAR surely at some point. But I'm afraid I'm pretty poor at my NASCAR knowledge. Dirks is in 5th. We've got Thrasher in the purple and yellow of Jack in the Box in P6, and Jim for Tim Hortons in the somewhat muted brown and maroon colour scheme then in the Audi TT Cup car in P7. He is 27.5 seconds off the lead of the race at this stage. Still on the hard tyres though. So lots of drivers picking the hards. Going to try and do 3 or 4 laps at the start of this race on the hard tyres. And this awesome Dragon Fruit Mountain Dew livery, I have to hand it to Glovas. It's not been a great race weekend for Glovas, but his livery designs at least get on the stream. So props to him. Another great one there. for Team Mountain Dew. He absolutely loves doing the being Mountain Dew team, I think, at the end of each year. Cam Ziller and Kay Morris in the German colour scheme with the Bacardi sponsorship for the distinguished gentlemen, obeying team orders, it seems, and helping each other along the track here, possibly even a little bump draft. Line astern, Kay Morris just basically following Cam through, and Cam's deficit to the leader now 39.2 seconds, so that's going to be awesome. We've got NAS kind of finale in 42 minutes. I might have to check that out on YouTube tomorrow, actually. Thanks, Floyd. Saito's ghost spooked me, says Chaotica. Great, thanks, Alexandra. Gus has stopped by to let me know the liveries. He likes Kuros Kai. He likes the dragon fruit. I'm absolutely with you. He does like the livery there. Second to his dad's car, of course, as always. I wish yours truly could. There from his children, as Larry is able to muster. The dragon fruit, the favourite among Gus, and of course that is where the bonus points lie, is Gus's favourite livery. Binkit running wide, Siam running even wider across the grass. So I don't know if Siam was focusing on Binkit there a little too hard, but he's run off slightly there. Just tagged the barrier, not too hard, hasn't damaged the car. Still running on these medium tyres then, deep into lap 2 for these drivers. So I wonder what the strategy will be. Will it be 2 laps on the mediums, followed by 2 laps on the mediums, followed by 3 on the hards, potentially? Are we only going to see a 6-lap race? The laps were significantly slower than the GTD Pros, so, whoa, big hop from Siam and from Larry. Love watching the cars through that section. Absolutely fantastic. Let's see if we can see another one do the same on the way through. Great jumps on the way through here from everybody. Let's maybe watch Jim's from the front of the car. Can we get low enough to see the car just jump and land again as we run high? Yeah. No one has taken off yet going through here, but now we have the sight of Cam Ziller chasing down Kuros Kai. I'm sure he won't be admiring the livery too much, or maybe he was, and off onto the dirt, lets his teammate through for the first time here. So that was dramatic for Cam Ziller. Let's see as we run. This is the problem, you get so close at the wrong portion of the track and you just miss your braking point, and the car just wouldn't settle back down again, unfortunately for Cam. So he's back down to 11th, and we carry on. Now I wonder if that will be important, and whether team boss Vic, or at least team strategist Vic, will be giving him some choice Italian words in the radio after that error. I need to learn some good Italian swear words, Vic, if you can furnish me with them. Kay Morris in 8th, and I only know the good Italian bits, grazie mille and Forza Ferrari and things like that. That's all I know, because that's all I ever hear on F1 team radio. Here we go, some great battling then going on for 4th, 5th and 6th positions. Up front though, no change. Binkit ahead of Siam and Larry. Dirksey here as Mercury pits off the hard tyres after 2 laps. So he is expecting, I'm assuming he's expecting to have only 6 laps. Merc comes in off the hards. So it's a case of using the hards as little as possible rather than the mediums as long as possible, I think. But Larry and Siam are going to go for a 3rd flying lap on the medium tyres. Obviously would rather not be using those hard tyres today if they can get away with it, but this 3rd lap is going to be challenging for our medium runners at the front of the field. And there you can see Binkit just going a little bit long, and he hasn't even got onto Nordschleife yet. Now, when they race the 24-hour race, there is actually a shortcut back to the pit lane here rather than going all the way around. You're not permitted to take it unless you've got a failure on the car. But that is the reason that they don't use the entirety of the Mercedes arena section. They're elongated pit lanes for a larger field, and then they have a shortcut back to the pit lane at the end of the Grand Prix circuit, just in case some drivers have issues. And then they don't have to send the recovery vehicles all the way around the Nordschleife to pick them up. Here is Larry, running P2 now, has managed to get by Siam. Let's just check out what happened to Siam. No, we can't. We're a little bit too late there to see what happened to Siam, unfortunately. And Larry's got a big slide going on, the rear of the car letting go on him. And this is the problem. And I think this lap is going to be very, very difficult for our Honda drivers. Anyone on medium tyres for a third lap is asking for trouble, in my view. Anyway, I'm sure that they can't one-stop this race with the fuel tanks here, even though there'll be a slow lap coming up under the safety car. I'd really be surprised if they manage to run a one-stopper. The tyres will do it. It's all about the fuel consumption. Now, they might turn the engine down. Now, they've got track position. But of course that track position will be eroded in the pit lane as well. Vic shouting pizza toppings right now. I didn't think you were allowed toppings on your pizza, Vic. I thought margarita or nothing, no? Nate's here. Everybody using the same car? No, indeed, no. The teams are using the same cars, but it's GT4 all the way, Nathan. Nate. Absolutely. So we've got dark, overcast sky. I don't know if the drivers, if we've seen anybody's radar yet. Sometimes we get lucky and get one driver who's showing the radar on the track map area at the bottom right of their screen. But I haven't seen that yet from anyone. So we will wait and see whether that's the case. I'm going to stick with the medium runners here because I think if we're going to get an error or a problem, it's going to be from one of these three drivers on this what must be an in-lap with the fuel loads. But if they do reach the end of lap 3 and we only have 6 laps and one of those is going to be short, then a one-stop is obviously possible. I certainly don't think we will get a full 7 laps, even if we've put the overage at its absolute maximum. But I know Zen will probably let me know what the projection is at this point, but 9-minute laps plus a delay on the safety car is right on the bubble for a 6 or 7 lap race. Larry is doing a great job at this stage. He's really catching Binkit on this third lap. It's certainly used to a car that doesn't grip very well in ACC, much more used to handling the cars at the lowest grip of GT7's ability to portray. If you reach the bottom of the tyre rubber allowance, then you really do. I don't think it's as difficult on ACC as it is in GT7, but until you get to that cliff, it is way easier to handle the cars, slip sliding all over the place. So perhaps that's what's helping Larry here. Siam obviously is an ACC driver as well, but certainly starting to catch Binkit now. 1.1 seconds between Larry and Binkit. At the front here, the lights are still on. It was dawn when we started the race, and we're actually getting some of that characteristic mist between the trees here in the Nordschleife. Much more moody, wintry October style weather and visibility here in October in the Nordschleife. I thought we might do some sort of Oktoberfest theme, given that we're in Germany. And screaming on by goes Larry, then chasing down Binkit, running low on their tyres and their fuel at this point. Zen says 6 laps for sure. Nice, okay, thank you. And Nate's saying, I think having a wheel life bar helps you determine how hard to take the car every corner. Yeah, I think that's absolutely true, and it's something that I do miss in ACC is any kind of indication, visual indication of what the tyres are doing, for sure. But sometimes you can find yourself, I have to say, sometimes you find yourself focusing on that visual representation rather than what the car is doing under your hands. And that is equally as difficult. So ACC doesn't give you that option. You're always just feeling the car. And as soon as you start to feel what's going on, like yesterday, I hit about 31, 32 minutes on a set of tyres and they just had enough. And we were doing a 1 hour race. It was really apparent to me that I was having to manage the rear tyres much more. And that teaches you good things, I know, because obviously race drivers don't have a tyre wear rating. They have temperatures, yes, and pressures in their cockpit, but they can't tell you how many millimetres of rubber there are on the surface. I must say, though, that VR drivers don't have that up all the time unless they choose it. So VR drivers are at a slight disadvantage. So 9 seconds now, Larry and Siam, the gap. This is a big lap for Larry and a pretty poor one, I think, for Siam on low grip. Larry following Binkit here. That McGee trophy, as most of the French cars, this current update cycle here in GT7 certainly seems to be favouring the French cars. Not least in the new used cars we were given during 2025, but the RS01, the McGee Trophy are definitely some of and the Peugeot earlier in the year, certainly some of the fastest cars out there, and have been very well favoured by GT7 in its balance of performance. Siam. Looks like, well, I mean, it feels like Siam's tyres are completely shot by the way he's driving on the way into Dottinger-Hoche. As K. Morris flashing the lights now to get by Jim. Jim will have none of that, frankly. I do think Larry and Binkit should be headed in towards the pit lane. And remember, it is all very close here through the mini carousel as K. Morris draws alongside, almost got pushed through the carousel by his teammate. In fact, I think there was this tiny sound of a touch between them. Little Jamaican flag on the driver's window on the Scirocco there. You just see there's a difference between himself and Camzilla's cars. There it is, just above the Recaro. I appreciate drivers designing with the Webbo sticker on there as well. Binkit, Larry in the pits. I'm sure Siam is headed that way too. And these three will go nose to tail all the way down here. And I think K. Morris could really do with a little bump draft from his teammate. Are we about to see one? I wonder. If I perhaps select this camera, we'll see if he does. But obviously, as they come into the turns, I think he'll back off slightly. But yeah, the top three from the medium tyres, all in the pits. Remember that the distinguished gentleman in the German colour scheme, they decided to, or at least their team strategist Vic told them to just do the one lap on the tyres, and into the pit lane come the rest of the drivers. K. Morris getting by, and Camzilla getting by Binkit, who comes out of the pit lane on the hard tyres, and it is now officially lap 4. So this will be the pit lane, the safety car lap. So representing cyber activism are the Rookie Rebels today in their livery, I believe. And there was a V for Vendetta, Guy Fawkes, anonymous style livery out there in the GTD Pros. Larry comes out of the pits. He's on the hard tyres now. It is lap 4. It's a full tank of fuel. And you've got to say that if it is a 6-lap race, they are on for a one-stop today with a full tank, a slower portion of this lap to come for the safety car. We're ticking over in towards the second half of the race right now. Binkit in third. Camzilla and K. Morris, though, having made a pit stop and performed an undercut by getting in those laps. Despite having to come through traffic, they're on equal terms ahead of Binkit, Larry and Siam. However, I believe all the drivers in the top 5 or 6 will have one more pit stop to make. There's no way that the distinguished car, those tyres, are going to make the end of the race. So I do think that they will drop back behind Binkit, Larry and Siam again, and we will resume with those 3 fighting over this lap. Now, this lap is a bit of a lame duck, this one, because the drivers know the safety car is coming up, and there's no point fighting prior to the safety car and chewing up your tyres and fuel. So this can be a lap where drivers sort of switch off a little bit, and that in itself can be quite dangerous for focus. Mercury scratched quite a bit of paint. Chevy livery, but it has got the race number stickers, so I know that it is designed, the OG. They're going for classic motorsport and brands to represent. Here is Dunkin' Donuts. Dirks is Dunkin' Donuts as well, appropriately enough. And we've got Thrasher in that P8 right now. Thanks, Floyd, for the tyre stuff. What safety car, says Nate? Yeah, okay, well, we'll talk about that in just a moment. So the safety car will come in. We have one driver slot given over to the safety car. Chaotica is currently sitting in our safety car, waiting for his moment in the sun. He comes out, and slightly different to normal races, he comes out and picks up in a normal race, he comes out, picks up the leaders, runs for 2 laps. Pit lane is closed for the first of those 2 laps, and they will all condense the field again and help anybody that's had a problematic start to the race, and then peels into the pits at the end of his 2nd lap, and we have an F1 style restart. Today it's different because it's the Nürburgring Nordschleife, so the safety car driver comes out of the pits, drives the wrong way up the track, up the long straightaway, the Dottinger Hurker, and then turns around at the Audi bridge and will pick up the drivers there. He will then take them for the portion from the Audi bridge at the start of the straight all the way to the end of the Grand Prix circuit and peel away, and then the drivers will resume their lap 5. It will be, yeah, they will cross the line and it will be their 5th lap, and then they will get the green flag for the leader to take them through. K. Morris and Cam Ziller have to work together now to open up this gap. Now maybe